Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the GE Refrigerator Auger Motor. It's going to be a very easy repair and it'll only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new auger motor. The auger motor is located in the freezer. It drives the auger to dispense the ice. The main reason you'd be changing it out is if the gearbox or the motor has failed and you're not getting any ice. In order to get to the part, we have to open up the freezer door. Once you have the door open, we have to take the ice bucket out. We're just going to lift up on it, pull it out until it stops, then lift up on the back and pull it out the rest of the way. Once you have it out, you can set it aside. Now that we have the ice bucket out of the way, we have to remove this whole assembly so we can change the part. First, we're going to disconnect the wire harness. There's a locking tab on each side. We have to reach back with a flathead screwdriver to release them so we can pull the harness off. Once you have the harness free, you can lift it up, just get it out of the way. And then we can grab the 1/4" nut driver, take out the 4 screws that hold the assembly to the brackets. Once you have all the screws out, we can reach in and pull the assembly out. Might have to lift up on it a little bit, then pull it out. Once you have it free, you can lower it down a little bit. And then we have to reach back and release that wire harness. You just have to squeeze each side. There's a locking tab on each side. Once you have it free, you can pull the whole assembly out. Now that we have the assembly out of the freezer, we have to take off the auger drive so we can take the motor out. We're just going to grab the shaft with the locking pliers, and then we're going to use the large pliers to unscrew the drive. It's reverse thread, so you want to go clockwise to take it off. Once you have it broke free, you can just unscrew it by hand and set the drive aside. Then we can release the locking pliers. Once you have the locking pliers off, we can grab our 1/4" nut driver and take out the 3 screws that hold the auger motor on. As you're taking the last one out, you can reach underneath and hold the auger motor in place so it doesn't fall and damage the wires or anything else. Once you have the last screw out, we're going to turn the assembly over and set it down. We have to take the wires off the motor. We're just going to use a small flathead screwdriver. Remember, the tan wire is on this side and the double orange is on the other side. Once you have both wires off, you can carefully lift the motor off and separate it from the assembly. Here's the old auger motor next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. Before we put the new one in, we have to swap over the shield. So we're just going to lift off on these 2 little retainers that go around the screw holes. And then we have to work out the 2 terminals and pull the shield off the old motor. Once you have it free, you can put it onto the new motor. All you have to do is push it into place, lining up the terminals so they come out the holes. Once you have the terminals in place, we can put the retainers back on. Once you have the new auger motor in the cover, we can put it back into the assembly. To put the new auger motor in, we're just going to line it up in place and reattach the wires. Remember, the tan one went on this side and the double orange on this side. Once you have the wires on, you want to make sure you line up the shaft hole and set the motor down into place. Once you have it in place, you're going to have to hold it while we turn it over so we can put the screws in. Once you have it turned over, we're going to have to move the motor around and get the screw holes lined up. Once you have it in place, we can use the 1/4" nut driver to put the screws back in. When you're putting these in, they may be a little bit harder than normal to thread in. These holes don't come tapped, so you have to cut the threads as you're putting the new screws in. Don't tighten the first one down all the way. Once you get it started, you may have to line the holes up again. Once you have all three in, just go around and make sure you got all three tight. Once you have the motor secure, we can put the auger drive back on. Remember, it's reverse thread, so you're going to go counterclockwise to tighten it down. Since it's reverse thread, you don't have to tighten it down too much, but we are going to snug it down just a little bit with the pliers, just so it doesn't come loose while we're putting it back in. Once you have the drive tightened down, you can put the assembly back into the freezer. To put the assembly in, we're just going to carefully feed it back into the freezer. Then we have to grab the wiring harness and plug it in. It can only go one way, so make sure you line it up, push it in so it locks in. Once you have it in place, we can lift the assembly up and set it into position. Once you have it in place, you can line up the screw holes on the left, and then we can use the 1/4 inch nut driver to put the screws back in. Once you have the screws in place, we're going to reach in and plug the ice maker in. All you have to do is line up the plug, make sure it locks in there. Once you have the ice maker plugged in, we can put the ice bucket back in the freezer. To put the ice bucket back in, we're just going to line it up on the rails and push it back into place. Once you have it all the way in, we can close the freezer door, plug it back in, and make sure it starts to cool. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.